Okay, this lesson's on Chapter 2, Lesson 3, the percent proportion. So here's the percent proportion. Okay, on the left side is part over whole, and on the right side is percent over 100. Now, if you look at the left side, part over whole, you see that I have part and then I have in parentheses is. When you're reading a word problem and you see the word is, it correlates with the part. Okay? When you see the word of, it correlates with the whole. Now on the other side is the percent over 100. So if you see a percent in a word problem, you take that number and you put it here in the top right. So basically what we're doing is we're replacing the part, the whole, and the percent sign with numbers. Or a variable if we're looking for something. So here's our first example. What percent of 25 is 20? Now, the first thing that I want you guys to do is to look at this and break it up into 3 parts, right? Because you're trying to find the percent, the part, and the whole. Okay, now one of those 3 is something that we need to label as X because we don't know what it is. So we need to figure that out. So first thing that you're going to do is you're going to underline. What percent, okay, and then you see of 25. So we're going to put a circle around that. Of 25. And then you see the word is 20. So we're going to box that. Okay, so we have what percent of 25 is 20. Then the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to write out percent equals, part equals, and whole equals. So now we're going to fill those in. Now, the percent. What percent of 25 is 20? What percent? Okay, when you see that word what, that means you don't know, right? We don't know what percent. We're trying to figure that out. So we're going to label that percent as X, okay, a variable. Then part. Okay, so what percent of 25 is 20? Okay, well we know that is goes with the part, right? So is 20. So our part is going to be 20. Now the whole. Of 25. We know the word of goes with the whole, so we're going to label the whole as 25. Now the next thing that you do is you write out the proportion. Okay, you have to memorize that. Part over whole equals percent over 100. So now we're going to fill those blanks in the proportion. So on the top left is the part. So we labeled the part as 20. So I'm going to put 20 in the top left. Now bottom left is the whole, right? And we labeled the whole as 25. So I'm going to put 25 in the bottom left. Now the top right is the percent. And we labeled the percent as X because we don't know what the percent is. That's what we're trying to figure out. So I'm going to put X in the top left. Now what do? Cross multiply. Okay, so when we did that, we cross multiplied and got 20 times 100 equals 25 times X. So now we go down straight in a vertical way. Okay, 20 times 100, well let's see, 2 times 1 is 2, and we add those 3 zeros, equals 25 times X, which is just 25X. Okay, and remember we're trying to find what X is. Okay, so to get X by itself, we need to cancel out that 25. And in order to do that, we have to divide by 25, because 25 divided by 25 is 1, and 1 times X is X. But what we do on one side, we have to do on the other side. Okay, so now we have X equals whatever 2,000 divided by 25 is, which comes out to be 80. And again, we are looking for the percent, okay, so it's going to be 80% equals X. So what percent of 25 is 20? 80%. 80% of 25 is 20. Next example. What number is 5% of 60? Okay, so again, we're going to do our underlining, circling, and boxing. Let's see. What number is 5% of 60? Okay, so now we circled, underlined, boxed our 3 things. So now we're going to put percent equals, part equals, and whole equals. So for the percent, we see that we have a percent sign here, right? 5%. So we're just going to put 5. The part. Now the word that goes with part is. And we see that we have what number is. What number is? What number? Do we know what number? No. So we're going to label that as X. The whole, right? Of goes with whole. And we see of 60. So the whole is going to be 60. So then we rewrite the the proportion, right? And then now we're going to fill it in. So let's start with the percent. Okay, so the top left, right? Top left is percent, the 5, right? We found out the percent is 5 in this case, so we're going to put 5 right here. Now the top right, sorry. No, that was the top right, sorry. Now the top left, top left is the part, right? So we labeled the part as X because we don't know what that is, so we're going to put an X there. And then the bottom left, right, the whole, we labeled as 60. So we're going to put 60 in the bottom left. Okay, now we just cross multiply. So now we have X times 100 equals 60 times 5. Okay, so we can rewrite X times 100 as just 100X equals, and then 60 times 5, well, 6 times 5 is 30, and then plus one more 0, so 300. Now we need to get X by itself, right? So we have to cancel out that 100 somehow, and the only way we can do that is to divide by 100. Okay, so those cancel. We divide by 100 on the other side as well. And as we can see here, we can divide 300 and 100 by 100, right? So the 0 trick. So the 0 trick means we can cross out those, and we can cross those out. Okay, so we're left with 3 over 1, which is 3. So X equals 3. What number is 5% of 60? The number 3 is 5% of 60. Okay, our last example. 84 is 75% of what number? Okay, again, we're going to do our underlining, circling, and boxing. 84 is 75% of what number? Okay, so again, we're going to write our proportion out again, and percent equals, part equals, and whole equals. Okay, so percent. In this case, our percent is 75. So it says 75%. So we're going to put 75 here. Part. Remember, is goes with part. 84 is. Okay, so it's 84. Of goes with the whole. Of what number? Of what number? We don't know what number, right? So we're going to label that as X. Now we're just going to fill it into the proportion here. Part over whole equals percent over 100. Now the top right is our percent. We labeled our percent as 75, so we're going to put that in the top right. Part. Top left. We labeled part as 84. So I'm going to put 84 in the top left. Bottom left. We labeled as whole, right? And we labeled that as X because we don't know what that is. So I'm going to put an X in the bottom left. Now we cross multiply. So now I have 84 times 100 equals 75 times X. 84 times 100. Well, 84 times 1 is 84. Okay, add those two zeros, so it's 8400 equals, and 75 times X, we can just rewrite it as 75X. Now, we need to get X by itself, so we need to cancel out that 75. The only way to do that is to divide by 75, because then those cancel. Okay, but you have to do the same thing on the other side. So X is going to equal whatever 8400 divided by 75 is, which happens to be 112. X equals 112. So 84 is 75% of 112.